The purpose of today's press conference is supposed to be a surprise. I suspect that some of you, looking at the banner behind me, may already have an idea of what Robert is going to talk about in a moment. But before I hand over to him to talk about that, I just wanted to say a couple of words of introduction. So I think it's fair to say that today's news from British Airways comes as the culmination of a journey over many years. And there are different themes to that journey. One theme is, of course, about what's been happening here in Pakistan over the last decade or more, and the improvement to the security environment in this country. And I think it's worth just remembering, in a week when we commemorated the terrible deaths at the Army Public School in Peshawar 4 years ago, the sacrifice and the work of the Pakistani Army, of the police, of the law enforcement agencies, and of course of the general public across this country in the fight against terrorism and violent extremism. It's also a story about Pakistan's potential. This is the 6th largest country in the world by population, now more than 200 million people, a strategic location between the Middle East and Asia. And of course, what benefits Pakistan with a growing economy benefits the UK as well. So the UK is now the 2nd largest export market for Pakistan overseas, and on the latest figures, we are the 3rd largest inward investor into this country. But it's also a story about the links between us, between the UK and Pakistan. 1.5 million people in the UK trace their roots to Pakistan, including some of the leading figures in our public life. London Mayor Sadiq Khan was here this time last year. The Home Secretary Sajid Javid visited earlier in the autumn. Of course, sportsmen like Amir Khan, cultural figures, Mohsin Hamid, Camilla Shamsi, and so on. The list could continue. And it's those ties of education, of business, of politics, of culture, sport across society which make this such a unique relationship between us. So that's given some of the context to the news that we're going to share today. And with that, I would like to hand over to Robert to say a little more.
Okay, is that okay? Yeah. Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everybody. I'd like to thank the Deputy High Commissioner for the warm welcome, and I'd like to thank the ministers and the Pakistani government for welcoming me here on behalf of British Airways today. I do agree, I'm sure that this won't be the biggest surprise today, but I'm here to announce to you that it's my pleasure that after more than 10 years, British Airways is to return to Pakistan with a new route between Islamabad and London Heathrow, flying from June next year. We have a very long history of flying into your wonderful country, first having operated flights to Islamabad all the way back in 1976. So we're all at British Airways incredibly excited that we'll be returning here from June. We will be launching the route as a 3-per-week service between Islamabad and London, operated by a 3-class Boeing 787 Dreamliner, our newest long-haul aircraft. As you all know, Britain has long-standing links with Pakistan. There are more Pakistanis living in the UK than in the rest of Europe combined, so we are confident that this direct link between our two countries will be very warmly received, both here and of course in the United Kingdom. Our return to Islamabad is largely due to the vastly improved security situation here in Pakistan, and I know that the Pakistani authorities have been working tirelessly to improve regional peace and stability, for which we are thankful. We believe that this route will be particularly popular with the British Pakistani community who want to visit or be visited by their relatives, and the flights will be well timed with an evening departure from Heathrow, ensuring customers land into your brand new airport here the following morning, fully rested and ready to visit family, friends, or start their business day. Your city is a tranquil one, with plenty of green spaces, gardens and parks. It is a hub for culture with rich heritage and has an impressive collection of museums, markets, mosques and hiking trails, as well as a thriving restaurant scene. We hope that our new route will allow more people from the United Kingdom to experience what a beautiful country Pakistan is. We know that our customers want choice, certainty, flexibility and quality from British Airways, together with competitive fares. We fly more than 123,000 customers every single day on more than 800 flights and to more than 200 destinations. We are currently operating our largest route network in over a decade, with 17% more flights than in 2016 and around 40 more routes. This year, Skytrax has also voted our cabin crew the best in the United Kingdom. Looking ahead, 2019 is going to be a very busy year for British Airways. Not only are we returning here to Islamabad, but we are also celebrating our centenary, 100 years of flying. We'll be celebrating in style, sharing our heritage, and looking ahead to flying in the future. We will continue investing for our customers with the rollout of a £6.5 billion investment programme. This includes new aircraft, new cabins, new lounges, new catering, and new Club World bedding from sleep experts at the White Company. Next year, we will also launch our new business class seat with direct aisle access. We'll take delivery of 18 new aircraft, and we will continue to roll out the best live streaming Wi-Fi on flights across our network. This will enable our customers to sit back and enjoy films and TV shows from their favourite streaming services. All of us at British Airways could not be more pleased to be coming back to Pakistan, and we very much look forward to June next year when our first flight will touch down at your spectacular new airport. Thank you very much.
Robert, thank you. We'll have a moment, an opportunity in a moment for people to ask questions, of which I'm sure there will be many. But before we do that, I wonder if I could turn to Mr. Bukhari and Mr. Dawood to say a few words from the government.
I would like to, of course, first thank the Acting High Commissioner. I'd like to thank Robert for this wonderful announcement, which I believe is groundbreaking, and that's coming after over a decade for Pakistan. There's two major factors in this for Pakistan. One is that Pakistan, after so long, is bringing back an airline which always has put the safety of its crew, its passengers, its aircraft first. For British Airways to consider Pakistan now a destination where it feels safety is adequate enough, is good enough for them to come, and commercially to build a relationship with Pakistan, let it be in trade and other bilateral relations, it shows that Pakistan is finally finding its footplace in the world. So I think that's a huge achievement for where we want to be. It's a huge step for this government, that we've found stability in it, that it's given foreign investors that security to come back. That sense of security is vital for other various investments to come in. And I think British Airways coming back after a decade just shows you where we were and how far we've come from, and the importance of the leadership that we're under. The second point is the connectivity factor. Airlines, British Airways is a prestigious airline, a well-known airline. It's one of the best in the world. But the fact is that it also shows that Pakistan is now becoming less isolated and becoming more connected to the world. And that's the Pakistan we want to see. We want to see a Pakistan that's heavily connected with the world. Connectivity is the most important thing in the global platform where we live in today. And British Airways is one of the biggest steps and one of the best steps that we can imagine. I think them being a Pakistani who's been born and bred in Britain, for me personally, I think this is a phenomenal step. And taking it further to the United States and all the Pakistanis that live across Europe, this is great news for them and something that we're very keen on. And we thank you for this wonderful opportunity and coming back to Pakistan after a decade. We really thank you for considering Pakistan back onto the map of connectivity. I personally want to thank Will, because he's been a super support in this and really driven it through. And of course, our Honourable Minister, Mr. Razak, will continue.